Hi guys, my name is Manny and welcome to my channel. I explore topics like tech, finance, and personal economics on my channel. So you've probably heard of the term compound interest before. But what is it? How do you calculate it? And can it be beneficial to you or can it be detrimental to you? In this video, we're going to find out. Before we begin, this video is broken up into multiple parts. Timestamps are posted here, and they'll also be posted in the description and pinned in the top comment. So without further interruptions, let's begin. Compound interest is also known as interest earned on interest. Compounding interest is the interest on a loan or deposit calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from all previous periods. So let's begin with the case study. John has been working hard and has saved up $25,000. He is interested in investing his money in hopes of maximizing his returns on investment. John is presented with two options: a high interest savings account from a bank which will pay him 5% simple interest per year, or invest the money in the stock market by purchasing a series of bonds and equity ETFs which are projected to grow at 5% per year. So let's look at what happens if John decides to invest in the bank. The simple interest formula is A is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus RT, where A is equal to the final amount, P is equal to the initial principal, R is equal to the interest rate, and T is equal to the number of time periods. After 1 year of investing his money at the bank, receiving 5% per year, John's total investment amount will be worth $26,250. After 10 years, John's total investment will be worth $37,500. After 20 years, it will be $50,000. And finally, after 30 years, his total investment will be worth $62,500. So let's look at option 2 now, if John decides to invest in ETFs instead. The compound interest formula is as follows. A is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus R divided by N, all to the exponent of N times T, where A is still the final amount, P is still the initial principal, R is still the initial interest rate, but N is the number of times the interest is applied per time period, and T is equal to the total number of time periods. After 1 year of investing his money in ETFs at 5% rate of return, John is expected to have a total investment amount of $26,250. Notice in the formula that N is equal to 1 and T is also equal to 1. T represents the number of years and N represents the number of times the interest is compounded. After 10 years of investing in the ETFs, John is expected to return $40,722.37. After 20 years, John's investment is expected to be $66,322.44. And finally, after 30 years, John's total investment worth is expected to be $108,048.55. So let's compare the two options now. After about 10 years, you can see that the total value of investment starts to change, where the ETFs really start to gain traction and compounding interest becomes pretty significant. While looking at the total interest earned, you can tell after 20 years, there's about a $16,000 difference. But if you look at 30 years, it's almost $50,000. This is where the power of compounding interest really comes into play. The longer you wait, the more interest you'll earn. Just to note, the 5% earned on the ETF every year is for illustration purposes. The rate of return on ETFs is not constant and fluctuate based on the market activity. So when can compound interest be bad for you? Credit cards have extremely high interest rates, upwards of 24.99% per year. That's crazy high. Any unpaid balance will accrue payable interest on top of your initial purchases. If the interest remains unpaid, the next billing cycle will compound payable interest on the principal and the previously accrued interest. So in other words, do not just pay the minimum required payment, try and pay the entire balance every billing cycle if possible. We now know how interest can affect your money, but how can compound interest affect your daily lives? Let's find out. Albert Einstein once famously said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who does not, pays it. To really understand how powerful this quote is, let's take a look at this graph called the power of tiny gains. Making small incremental changes to improve your life, whether it be fitness, diet, or simply learning new things, can improve your well-being quite drastically. Likewise, small detrimental changes to your life can impose significant damage to your life. So remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, but the builders never stopped building. So some of the key takeaways from this video are: compound interest is interest earned on interest. Compounding interest is incredibly powerful over time. The rate of return grows exponentially, whereas simple interest, it only grows at a linear scale. Avoid high interest rate debt as much as possible. Just like investments, Your debt will grow faster and faster the longer you let it build up. It is never too late to start earning compound interest on your investments or on your life. Some real-world examples of compound interest include stocks, ETFs, index funds, and mutual funds, just to name a few. Guys, I will also be making a video on index funds and ETFs, so stick around for that. Thank you for watching the video. If you guys really enjoyed it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell and you'll get a notification every time I upload my weekly videos. Thank you, everyone.